welcome to a new year. Happy New Year, everybody. My name is George, and we are live with the Tennis Report. Welcome to the first show of 2011, and welcome to the Australian Open 2011 May. We're down under here in Australia, y'all. I don't know if that's how they talk, but we are down here in Australia, y'all, and we are ready to get things kicked off with the first show of the Tennis Report here in the United States. But over there in Australia, day 3 is just beginning, but we're going to give you a roundup of what happened in the first 2 days, aka the first round of the Australian Open in this more compact show that we will have now from now on. As we start off, we're going to go down under with the latest news and scores in an all-new compact version of the show. So join us, mate, as we give you a summary of what went down there in the first 2 days of the tournament. Are you ready? Here we go. The breaking news of today, everybody. Jim McManus, ATP founding member and former player, passes away. Jim McManus, 70, who was in the tennis arena for more than 50 years as a player, administrator, and fan of the game, passed away on Tuesday morning of medical complications following his battle with cancer. As a founding member and member of the original board of directors at the ATP in 1972, McManus spent 28 years as an employee with the ATP's tour, working in various departments: the ranking system, tournament representation and development, pension plan, player entry department, senior tour, and alumni services. Quote, "It is with great sadness that we learn of Jim's passing," said Adam Helfand, the ATP's executive chairman and president. From his early days as a player and later as a founding member of the ATP, Jim was always regarded as a true pioneer of the game of tennis. On behalf of the ATP, I can say that men's tennis has truly lost one of its greatest and most significant figures. Now we have a moment of silence for Jim McManus. Time to get to your Down Under diary for day 1 at the Aussie Open. ATPRoadTour.com takes a look at the news and talking points at the Australian Open on Monday, May. Agassi backing Murray. 4-time former Australian Open champion Andre Agassi told Melbourne's Herald Sun newspaper he has always liked Andy Murray's game, but he is kind of a little fatigued, I figured this is a big year for him, or the time he's going to break through. You can't help but believe that his game deserves the time in the sun. There's been a bit of pressure on him the past years, with everyone saying he should win and he should win, he should win. And now you're starting to hear talk that his time might be moving by him. That might be enough to get him intense and clear and focus on his goals or relax him just enough. And when he's playing his best, he's a guy who can beat anybody, including Nadal or Federer. Rosewall thinks draw is wide open. Another 4-time champion, Ken Rosewall, thinks the title could be anyone. You can go far past Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. They're the two who've been dominating, but there are so many others who could do well, so we could be looking forward to many upsets over the next 2 weeks. Aussie great debate, Hewitt versus Nalbandian. Pat Cash expects Leighton Hewitt to beat his first-round opponent, David Nalbandian, who finished runner-up to David Ferrer in Saturday's Heineken Open final in Auckland. "It's the pick of first-round matches, really," said Cash. "It should a quarterfinal match, but that's the way it goes. There'll be a lot of come-ons from both sides. That's what we like to see. I'd make Leighton the favorite, only because he's prepared well, and I think he's hitting the ball well, and he's determined to do well." Who won between this match? We'll tell you in a second, but first we want to tell you that head-to-head, Leighton Hewitt leads David Nalbandian 3-2. What happened in their match on day 2, we'll tell you later in the show, everybody. Monfils wins mental battle. Gael Monfils came back from 2 sets to love down for the first time in his career on Monday. The Frenchman beat Diemo de Baker 6-7, 2-6, 7-5, 6-2, 6-1 over 3 hours and 30 minutes on Hisense Arena. "I showed myself like sometime when it's very bad, I need to keep believing," end quote. For sure, like a couple of years ago, I couldn't think like this. I was okay. I was like, okay, I'm done with that 3 sets. Federer and the Gillette ad. Some journalists can't let it go. After his win over Lashko, Federer was asked about his trick shot. If you want to watch the trick shot, you can go to youtube.com and search the Roger Federer trick shot. And the question was, the YouTube video where you hit the bottle off the guy's head, is that real? Roger Federer responded saying, yeah, I did it twice. That's why I wanted to make sure people knew it was real. A bit of help there, but... And he was smiling as he said all this. You've never done it before and got someone in the face. And he responded, well, we couldn't show those clips. Smiling again. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I'm going to say. And he started laughing. Can't say more. Tweet of the day. Murray's mother, Judy, reveals on her Twitter account, just BN to Adidas suite at Grand Hyatt to pick up some kit. Saw a great pair of pink tennis shoes. Who's Fernando Verdasco? Famous faces. 3 of England's victorious cricketers in the recent Ashes series against Australia, Graham Swan, Tim Bresnan, and Kevin Pietersen, were spectators for Roger Federer's first-round win over Lucas Laszlo during this afternoon's session on Rod Laver Arena. Australian personality Danny Minogue also visited Melbourne Park, tweeting afterwards, had a ball at the Australian Open tonight. Day 1 attendance. The 2011 Australian Open kicked off with a special ceremony on the steps of Rod Laver Arena featuring Rosewall and Evan Gulagan-Kali. More than 40,000 fans passed through the gate to Melbourne Park for the day session, just short of the 42,426 record for Day 1 set in 2009. And now we're going to move on to the Down Under Diary of Day 2. Major quest is not an obsession. World number 1 Rafael Nadal bidding to become the first man to hold all 4 majors since Rod Laver in 1969. Says his Australian Open. Title quest is not an obsession. I never think about winning 4 Grand Slams in a row. It's still very far away. You can write what you think. I never read a lot about myself. You have your job. I have my job. I'm not thinking about winning the tournament now. End quote. After his first round match against Marcos Daniel, I have a correction. I said Marcos Granollers. It was Marcos Daniel, Nadal went to a practice court for 30 minutes to further improve his serve. My serve could be a little better, he said. That's the only point I think I can improve if I really want to play well here. A traumatic start. Andy Murray, who reached the second round after Carol Beck retired with the 5th seed up 6-3, 6-1, 4-2, revealed his brother Jamie Murray has been involved in a freak accident during practice. Quote, he hit a baby sparrow when he was practicing his serve. Murray told reporters, I think he killed it. My mom told me about it when I woke up this morning. I hope he didn't do it on purpose. I haven't seen him yet today. It was a pretty traumatic start to the day. In other news, a little help from my friend, former U.S. Open champion Juan Martín del Potro, who was also a winner on Tuesday, admitted he has received text messages of support from the likes of Nadal, Roger Federer, and other top players during his lengthy injury layoff last year. Quote, they called me, they sent emails, everything, said Del Potro. It was important. They have very tight, complicated schedules. If they call it shows, they are thinking about you. So I just don't want to thank you all for them. Football crazy, football mad. Murray, who was once offered a trial with Gasclow Rangers Football Club, has recently formed a mini football team with Novak Djokovic. I have only been playing with him for a couple weeks, but hopefully we will play more in the future. I play a lot and I like to warm up with it for my training and stuff. We play in 4s or 5 against another team. Heavyweight writer backing Nadal. Simon Barnes, the chief sports writer of the Times of London, is backing Nadal to win the Australian Open title and hold all 4 major crowns. Traditionally, a Grand Slam has to take place in the same calendar year. In terms of mere tennis, it doesn't actually matter when you start, no matter which order you win them in. Start in September or May or January. It's damnly difficult. Roger Federer hasn't done it, and he is probably the greatest player of all time. Quote, I'm backing up Rafa to put it off in Australia. By all objective standards, it would mean that Nadal is a player of genuine for all-time greatness. End quote. And yesterday, actually, in day 1, Patrick McEnroe was saying that he wouldn't call it a Grand Slam, but he would call it a straight Grand Slam because he won 4 straight, just not all of them in the calendar year. And moving on to the match of the day in a classic battle and the best match so far. Later here, the 2005 runner-up and former world number 1 challenge number 27 seed David Nalbandian, who ultimately prevailed 36-6-4, 36-7, 6-9-7 after 4 hours and 48 minutes, the longest match so far of the Australian Open. Nalbandian played 2 match points in the 5th set and deft touch off a low return and second point with a volley winner. Hewitt, who had led 3-1, left 40 in the 4th set, converted just 7 of 30 break points in total. It was his first round exit at Melbourne Park, and he did have 2 match point chances in the match. Upset of the day, world number 55 Benjamin Becker defeated number 24th seed Ernest Gulbis 7-6, 6-2, 6-4 in the pair's first meeting over 1 hour and 58 minutes. Gulbis has now made 5 straight first round exits at Grand Slam championships. Excuse me. Gulbis has now made 5 straight first round exits at Grand Slam championships and has not won back-to-back matches at the majors since June 2008, when he advanced to his first quarterfinal at Roland Garros, losing to Djokovic. Alright everybody, and now we're going to move on to the results of day 1 at the Australian Open. Most of them that were moving, we have here day 2. Let's see if we can get day 1 first. We have to tell you that right now you can watch live coverage of the Australian Open on ESPN2 from 9 p.m. which began tonight, all night long and until the morning, until 8 o'clock this morning. Yesterday, and actually today it did go a little past 8 o'clock. Actually past 7 o'clock is the time that it ends, but it went way past. It went all the way almost to 8:30 with the marathon match against Leighton Hewitt and Feliciano Lopez. Well, we have a little time left, and in the first round, everybody, Roger Federer moved on. Novak Djokovic, Berdych, Radek Verdasco, Monfils, Almagro, Fish, Lubicic, Kubot, Wawrinka, Maris, Montanes, Monaco, Gasquet, Trioki, Marino, Simon, Robredo, Nishikori, Malise, Dimitrov, Gil, Per, Kohlschreiber, Dodig, Sakhasvi, Mahut, Tipsarevic, Chaz, Andreev, and Kushkashin were some of the ones that moved that